Yo, what's good, everybody, man? It's your boy Rillo, co-host of the Black Lunch Break and also CIO of Black with No Chaser. Man, look, we got Will Walters here, founder of Monarch Magazine, coming to talk to you about some key initiatives that he got coming up starting tomorrow and on through the rest of the year and on through the rest of our life cycles, yo. So really fortunate to have this brother in the building. Fortunate to have his brother in the building today. So I'm going to bring him to the stage really quickly, man, so introduce himself in a more formal fashion. Y'all welcome Will Walters to the stage, man. Wait, go again. I had you on mute. You was on mute.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for jumping on the show. I think it's
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me here.
Now, look, for the folks out there watching, man, where you based at?
Actually, in Washington, D.C.
Are you in D.C.?
I'm in D.C. On 1325 G Street Northwest. So I think you and I are like neighbors, right?
Yeah, bro. You actually, you know, it's funny. I know you asked me yesterday when we chopped it up for a brief second that if I was in DC. I thought when you was like, yo, are you in DC? I thought you were saying that, like, you got some ties to DC, but you actually are in DC. So now we gotta connect then.
Right. That's why I was like, hey, man, we neighbors. We should be doing this in person, or you know what? That just gives us more opportunity to build. So we're gonna do a lot of other stuff in the future.
Absolutely. But yo, so real quick though, man, folks that don't know out there, what is Monarch Magazine? How long y'all folk been around, man? What y'all been doing? What y'all been up to? Stuff like that.
Monarch Magazine is a luxury publication, not limited to print. It's a luxury media outlet. Servicing, like, not to be long-winded, I'm trying to trim it down, but as you know, within our culture, we're not monolithic. There's diversity. So we focused on the space of inspiration, aspiration, and those who are living that lifestyle just in general, because it's an unserviced audience. So Monarch is a publication that services the affluent African American, covers travel, fashion, automotive, culinary experience, health and wellness, et cetera, et cetera. Everything that covers lifestyle, that's what Monarch Magazine is. It's in print, digital, we do events, et cetera. Started in 2000. First issue was 2006. I remember it because it was our Vivica Fox cover. That was our first cover. And from then, we've been blessed to be rolling ever since.
Damn, 06. Y'all been around for a while, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, I didn't realize that. I'm thinking like y'all were, you know, more budding, but y'all been around doing this thing for over 15 years now, man. So, I mean, you know, being around 15 years, like, what are some key highlights, man? What are some things y'all been doing over the years that you could look back on and be like, damn, man, we did that?
You know what the big highlight for me was? There's been many, honestly, but the first thing that comes to mind, as you know, the media since 2006, the media landscape has changed numerous times. I mean, in 2006, there wasn't even no real thing called social media. So since then, growing up, reading publications, being an avid newsstand person, I would just live in Barnes and Nobles. To see that first edition on Barnes and Noble's newsstands, bruh, and to be like a fly on the wall standing back and watch other people pick it up, that was an amazing experience. They have subscriberships roll in, just multiplied that experience. So, you know, doing anything, you have like the highs and lows, et cetera, but I'll say the highs are so worth going through everything you go through to make this publication and media come to life. So those are two things that immediately come to mind.
That's what's up, man. Congrats on that, though, on the success.
Thank
you. We really here to talk about the initiative that y'all got coming up. There's two of them, in fact, right? Yes, one is Kings in the It's star-studded. I mean, y'all got some heavy hitters at the top of the ticket. So I want to jump into that really quickly. Before I say that, let me roadmap folks, right? So we're going to get into that. We also going to get to the next ventures you're going to be doing with Massive B, my hometown, man. I grew up in New Orleans, native in New Orleans. So this is exciting for me to hear what y'all about to be doing with HBCUs. Before we get into what we're doing with HBCUs, right? Let's talk about Kings in the Kitchen for a second. How you came about the idea, and what can we be looking forward to beginning on tomorrow?
How we came up with the idea is through the pandemic, like most, you had to shift, pivot. The virtual experience became a real thing that was active. We wanted to do something that was consistent with our brand. It was entertaining as well as informative. So myself and the host, actually, Chef Cynthia Pian, we put our brains together and we came up with something called Culinary Conversations. And we launched that throughout the pandemic. But at the top of this year, her and I wanted to do something that was more focused towards males. We seen that was, I came to her explaining how there's really not a lot of content, let me put it that way, that really focuses on the African-American man, fathers, Black men, etc., showing the truer light on who we are, our values, our interests, etc. Father's Day falling right in line. It just made sense. Monarch is about royalty. We are kings. Want to remind ourselves that we are, and want to show the rest of the world who we really are. So we came up with Kings in the Kitchen. Came out of Culinary Conversations. Kings in the Kitchen is a lineup, actually, of kicking it off with Percy Miller and Romeo Miller. And each individual speaks to their specific values. They talk about being a Black father, but they also double down on, in this case, Percy and Romeo. They talk about how they transitioned their bond, if you will, into successful businesses and how to educate others on doing the same who have that interest. The importance of financial literacy, economic empowerment, and building legacy and generational wealth. From there, we wanted to address each sector that we feel has a major amount of influence on the culture: entrepreneur, film, music. So in the film world, film and TV world, we were blessed enough to have Curtis Cook. If you don't know him by name, you know him by character, who plays Duda on The Shy. So he participates, drops some excellent wisdom, talking about how he navigated raising five kids before he became an actor, how he was resourceful and how that made him a better father. In addition to, he really gets into Black on Black violence and police violence. So it's a great segment. And then we ended off with Eric Benet, who talks about his adversity that he faced at the beginning of his career when he lost his girlfriend right when his musical career was starting and they had their first child. So his is a tale, if you will, of resilience and encouragement, and also speaking to fathers who have daughters, because he has all daughters, and there's a unique bond between a father and a daughter because you're laying the groundwork, if you will, for the man that she may go on to date. So June 17th, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time, Percy Miller and Romeo Miller, they appear. June 18th, Curtis Cook, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We ended off June 19th with Eric Benet, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. You can see it all on monarchmagazine.com/Kings in the Kitchen. That's monarchmagazine.com/Kings in the Kitchen. They're hour-long segments. They're cooking. They're having great conversations. They're preparing great dishes that people can take home. So it's a combination of, we can call it the art of nutrition for mind, body, and spirit. So that's pretty much what Kings in the Kitchen is.
We got a question from the audience real quick. I guess David, there's a good brother, good friend of mine. He asked, are you all a member of the NNP, which is the National Newspaper Publishers Association?
Actually, we are not, and that is my fault. I've been dragging my feet on that, David. But Lord willing, we plan to be, but no, currently we are not.
And I'll just admit that Black with No Chaser is not as well. So we are falling short, folks. But you know what though? When you know better, you do better. It's funny because some of these times, like you don't even know about some of these organizations out there. I mean, I know about NABJ and stuff like that, but it's not some of the more, like, I guess, less mainstream. I don't even, maybe it is main. It's 194 years old. So look at that. You can't get more mainstream than that for Black folk. We don't even know about it. So appreciate you, David, for actually spending some of that knowledge.
It's definitely rooted in the culture. Like you said, the years is cemented. It's just one of those things, as you know, as a content creator, owner, somebody blazing your own path, you get tunnel vision. You know, you're focused on what you're doing, how you're doing it. So I joined my buddy here. There's no disrespect, David, no disrespect to the organization. We're just out here trying to make it work.
Oh yeah, nah, man. David, let me tell you something, man. David's a cool cat, man. He's actually he's a policy guy.
Okay.
I mean, but I know, but he's a well-read brother, and so I know that he's probably like, hey, man, y'all need to get it together. But no, we're gonna be us and Monarch, Black with No Chaser and Monarch. David, you could hit my line, as a matter of fact, brother. And by the time you do that, we're gonna make sure we registered with the NNPA for sure, man. So
that's right. Hold us accountable, David. We need brothers like you to do that.
Absolutely, and David will do that. So the Kings in the Kitchen, man, sounds like amazing initiative. Is it going to be like? Is it just this weekend? Is it going to be more of that to come?
We're launching this weekend due to Father's Day, but it's really not limited to Father's Day. It's going to run all out through June 30th, and then in Q4 we're picking it back up, but we're taking it on location. So there's going to be, if you can envision, we're going to do an HBCU tour starting in Tennessee State. When I say we, that's myself and Percy Miller.
Master P, folks out there don't know Percy Miller's name because everybody don't know about Percy Miller.
Well, the one and only Master P.
Yeah.
Only Master P, man. Master P is someone, for those who do not know, who actually started the blueprint for all the moguls that you see today that came out of coming out of hip hop rather, or just the music industry just in general. He's taking just the same way that he blazed paths in that industry. Now he's increasing that to usher in, I would like to say, adding on to his legacy, creating a new chapter. And that big chapter is really giving back, empowering the people. Monarch is all about empowering the people, inspiring the people. Our slogan is one vision, one voice, one people. So him and I have been dialoguing, since 2018. Putting the pieces together, you know, the behind the scenes, working it out, how to do this, how to step out, the right brand alignments, partnerships, etc. So Kings in the Kitchen is just the first series, just due to the, how can I put this? Due to Father's Day being here.
Yeah.
So we were able to align with our brand partner, Procter & Gamble, on this. And they have been tremendous. They see the need and understand that it's better for them to take a back seat and listen to those who are from the culture, those who are cultivating the culture, to educate them on ways that they should try to reach us, the importance of our buying power, the importance of our values and interests. So they partner on something like this because they see that systematically the African-American male has been marginalized with myths and stereotypes that we try to fight through. You know, some are more successful than others, but throughout, honestly, since we arrived on the shores, to be quite honest. Mm-hmm. So Percy and I partnered to educate other brands, advertisers, and really bring that message to the people about financial literacy, how to empower yourself, how to utilize your natural talents to create careers for yourselves and those in your family members, etc. So we're going to start with the HBCU tours and just build out from there, and that'll be coming in Q4.
That's amazing, bro.
Thank you.
Somebody that went to HBCU, family, now Hope FAMU, man, one of the biggest and baddest HBCUs out there is on schedule. Now you don't go to the Hill. Many of folk, let me say it may be a myth or whatever, but if you come through FAM and you can make it through the gauntlet of FAMU, then you can make it anywhere. And I'm not just talking about students. I'm talking about entertainers. Look, from Plies to Rick Ross to I remember when Boosie came on campus in 2004 with tall tees on with Interstate 10 chain. Right? I'm talking about from those cats and seeing that they made it. And there have been many people that came through that campus that did not make it and got booed off the stage. everybody who made it on FAMU's campus and saw success with FAMU students took off. And so, man, I would just, if FAMU's not on the schedule, I would say I would advocate and I would be lobbying for my school. Man.
Well, FAMU is definitely on the schedule, bro. So
when y'all get there, back up and we jumping back on the line again to do.
No doubt. No doubt.
About being on the hill. What is like that? Oh, and Dave goes, or the gauntlet of Texas Southern University. Come on, man. All right. We see y'all, though. We see y'all in H-Town. But no, I got to ask, though, really quickly, how you get hooked up with Master P? I mean, because I just, because Master P is everywhere. And, I mean, I don't know how far y'all go back, but just got to, me being nosy and doing.
No problem at all, bro. Actually, we connected years ago. I want to say like 2019. 2018. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. We connected briefly on something that he was doing in my memory. Forgive me, it escapes me. But we did like a photo shoot together, and from there, we kind of like kept in touch. And as he was going in a certain direction, I'm sure since you're familiar with him, you've seen him speak about financial literacy. And he been
talking about that sound like crazy, man.
Right.
Rap snacks to
exactly.
Just did a black bar crawl. Shout out to the Wave USA, y'all. But my boy and them with the Wave USA just did a black bar crawl down in Jayville, and then another one in Atlanta. And Rap Snacks is one of the partners for the black bar crawl to keep people fueled up while they going from bar to bar. Rap Snacks.
See what I mean? So, as you mentioned at the top of the conversation that you weren't really familiar with Monarch. And from, I guess it's safe to say I'm a man of a certain age. Percy's a man of a certain age. Monarch, we grew organically on the newsstands. I'm just backdooring this into how we got into alignment and what the alignment represents. So we are rooted in organizations, fraternities, sororities, like if you're familiar with that, the alumni chapters, our average age reader is 34 and up. There's a certain audience profile that it caters towards. So Percy has a certain audience profile that he caters towards, but he's able to walk in between both worlds, if you will.
Right.
This alignment together enables us to do exactly that. What we came together to do is connect that bridge so we can really create that one vision with one voice, with one people. So we're removing, I guess you could say, boundaries that may keep us unfamiliar with one another. Like you said, you weren't familiar with Monarch, but now moving forward, you will be, especially since you're in DC and I am. We'll be able to connect on multiple levels. And that's the goal. So with Percy's credibility and all the accolades that he has and the respect that he has in the community, he's a man of the people. Monarch being a publication that has a certain cachet, we're bringing those two worlds together to be able to show someone who may literally, as we both probably know, an individual who has millions or thousands of social media followers, but they do not know how to turn that into commerce. Well, things like that, being able to utilize those skills, turn it into commerce. Or even an athlete that's very successful, making a decision whether they should go to college or right to the pros, being able to provide them that guidance, that education, whatever decision that they make, that they could be the navigator of their own course, have more options, and not necessarily be at the whim or the helm at the powers that be. They have insight, they have the information, and they have the access to brand alignments and other things like that. So if they want to partner, create their own type of event where they can go get the sponsors, that's what Monarch brings to the table. So we can gel all of those worlds. And I'm giving you a little bit of insight to even what the HBCUs, the panels and breakout discussions will entail. So that's what the whole thing is. Once again, Monarch being a certain, performing in a certain audience profile, Percy doing the same, merging those two worlds, we pretty much together can represent the entire culture. And we're setting out to bring that knowledge and information and access to the culture.
Dope. That's what's up. So now everything we just talked about though, right, is this more so running right into more of the marketing firm that we kind of spoke about in brief? And now name is not released yet so much, but just talk to folks a little bit about what that marketing firm is going to be doing. in conjunction with the HBCU initiative that y'all got going on at Q4?
Okay, thank you for asking. The marketing firm in itself will be the baseline, if you will, where the things will grow up out of. So we plan to employ all races, but the information and the knowledge coming from those in the culture, because we're designing this to elevate and empower the culture. So one aspect, just like Kings in the Kitchen, things like that you can expect where we have virtual experiences, we have on-site experiential experiences, we have brand campaigns that we'll create. The actual major thing that's coming out of the company is a docu-series called Behind the Cover, which is going to be semi-scripted, and it'll tell the story of a day-to-day, giving insight to what goes on in launching media, launching publications, etc. So it's going to be based around the daily operations of everything else. Thank you, bro. Like,
let me tell you, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I don't think people really understand when you say I'm taking a publication, a multimedia company,
right?
Like with that, like honestly, if we can make it 24 hours a day, it really would be 24 hours a day. And I would get no sleep. We would get no sleep.
Right.
I would lift up anybody out there who's doing a startup, or even have like, a Monarch in their back pocket somewhere, who've been in the game for a while. Anybody can tell you that this is a feat. It's a beast to manage. And so I appreciate the fact that y'all going to be out there working with young folk, in particular Black folk, startup Black publications, probably, and more likely than not, where you can gain some of this knowledge and use it in a way and be encouraged by the fact that, look, it's going to be rocky in the beginning, but the strategic partnerships are critical to growing the brand and subscribership, doing what you need to do, but also owning the fact that, look, every Black brand, just like Black people on the monolith, every Black publication, right, is not going to be the same. And I think to Black with No Chaser, to Blavities of the world, to the TSRs, and you name it, everything in between, there's more than enough room out there. I think we lost Will for a second. As Will come back, but as Will is back now, there's more than enough opportunity out there for Black folks to come together in publication and do some real good work, man. And so I applaud y'all as Will try to jump back in and get situated. That's why I love these live discussions. You can't have no mess up. You can't have none. And Will is out there trying to get it covered. I just want to say, y'all, Juneteenth is coming up. Look, Black with No Chaser, we pretty much are right. We did a soft launch about what's to come, but a Black summer is going to be what we're going to call our summer campaign to really celebrate our royal beginnings, but also the fact that we're going to say it loud on an advocacy standpoint, and the fact that, look, no matter what happens, we're going to celebrate anyway. So y'all make sure y'all keep it locked into that. But look, and I'm gonna wait a few more seconds if Will could jump in so he can sign off. Last thing I will say is Juneteenth is this weekend. So if y'all out there, make sure y'all staying safe, being positive, because that's really one of the main things, is that as we, as we celebrating, and the fact that I just want to say this too. I know a lot of people have talked about this, but I'm gonna just say it and I'm gonna go on record. I think that it is absolutely crazy. It's ironic and it's disrespectful, and no less form of gaslighting the fact that the Senate overwhelmingly, right, including Democrats and Republicans, right, have voted to do what? Pass over and make Juneteenth a federal holiday. But I tell you what though, right? We still ain't got to a hate crime anti-lynching bill. We still ain't got to the fact that we talk about voting rights as we gut voting rights in this country. Across, especially states in the South, as well as Pennsylvania, and so on and so forth. In the midst of all this, we have this symbolic, passing, making Juneteenth a federal holiday, while we are also advocating to get rid of critical race theory, or not even talk about racism or slavery in our classrooms, no matter from K through 12th and beyond. So it's a little disingenuous, if you will. I mean, we still waiting on reparations, any form. As a matter of fact, we're not even waiting on reparations. We waiting to get paid. We waiting for HR 40 to finally come through, So HR 40, so we can commission an investigative committee to find out and figure out once and for all what would reparations look like. Now that would really be dope, right? We can pass HR 40 through the House, get on to the Senate. You know what else would be really, really cool, and some form of a civil rights for folks in DC would be for DC statehood to become a thing. Right now, Senate Bill 51 is sitting on the desk, and we know that at the end of the day, we gonna need the vast majority of senators, including Republicans, to vote this bill into law. 2 Democrats right now are stonewalling Manchin and Sinema in Arizona, Manchin in West Virginia. And so to me, while we are trying to figure out our plans for Juneteenth, my plan is to continue to advocate for our people. And while symbolism is cool, we don't necessarily need to make Juneteenth a holiday, because Black folk gonna do that anyway. We was gonna take off anyway. I'm just trying to let y'all know, floating holiday or not, whether we get the day off or not, we appreciate that. But at the end of the day, there's more to be done. We still ain't passed the George Floyd and Policing Act. As a matter of fact, if you want to one up, you can actually pass the Breathe Act that the Movement for Black Lives has put together, which is a step cut above in terms of wrangling in police behavior in this country. And as we see right now, brothers and sisters are still being manhandled and falling victim to police brutality all across the country, including the 17-year-old guy that was tased for quote unquote vaping on the boardwalk Ocean City. So we're dealing with a lot. There's gaps in education. The wealth gap has grown. Violence is on the increase in communities across this country, gun violence in particular. We talk about the healthcare system is still crumbling, infrastructure that's crumbling. We are behind in many categories, and anytime America has a damn cold, Black America has a flu. And so long as the case, we're gonna keep doing our thing, advocating for our people. So with that being said, man, I just want to say as we sign off here, I know Will, we talked about a lot, but if y'all didn't catch the first half of this interview, Will Walters was just on, founder of Monarch Magazine. They've been around since 2006. That brother's based out here in DC. They have an initiative beginning tomorrow, really that's running through the entire weekend, called Kings in the Kitchen. We got Percy Miller, aka Master P, part of that program, Curtis Cook, Eric Benet, and other heavy hitters joining. So look, y'all can find that. The information is the comment right here, but it's in monarchmagazine.com/Kings in the Kitchen. Y'all make sure y'all check these brothers out. And in Q4 to HBCUs around the country, the Monarch Magazine, including Master P, will be going around the country talking about ways in which Black folk, in particular people interested in marketing, communications, the digital space, can get involved and be integral partners in this space. And so with that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is another broadcast live from Black with No Chaser TV. And make sure y'all subscribe, man. Subscribe. Look, we are trying to get to this 1,000 subscriber mark. So y'all help us out for real. If y'all watching this, make sure you share it, comment, like it, love it. Subscribe to Black with No Chaser TV. We really do appreciate everybody's support over the years, y'all. We 3 years in and growing, man. We got a network of some very, very, very dope human beings. Also, if you want to write on Black with No Chaser, let us know. Hit us up in the DM, email us. It doesn't matter. We're very available. If you want to advertise on Black with No Chaser, hit up with ad sales at blackwithnochaser.com. Try not to DM us. It'd really be a lot of us trying to check through all these DMs, especially the ones in requests. And if y'all know T-Pain didn't even realize that was a request side of things. And while we do know, it's still a lot. It is hundreds of requests. And so we try to get some as much as we can. And so we do appreciate the support all the time. And last but not least, make sure y'all check out the store for the release of the Black Summer merch. That's going to be running from now all the way until September. Until next time, folks, love y'all. Peace and blessings from Cirilo. We out.